My name is Admire Mare. I'm an associate professor in the Department of Communication and Media at the University of Johannesburg. Basically, my research area deals with a lot with digital media. I also look at media reportage of conflicts in various parts of Africa. But basically, I'm also interested in understanding how the media represents Africa-China relations. And in that area, what I'm more interested in is just understanding the issue of sinophobia, which is a situation where the media reports the Chinese and African relations from a standpoint that China is not wanted, is not welcome to be in Africa, or is seen as not an equal partner in its relationship with Africa. So basically that is what I'm more interested in, but also I'm more interested in understanding how the media can actually be used to change that kind of narrative. How can we help the mainstream media, but also the digital media, to set a different kind of an agenda when it comes to do with Africa-China relations? So it's something that I'm very passionate about, and I hope that if we can actually do a lot of research, groundbreaking research around that, it can actually help us to come up with policy interventions, but it can also help us to even come up with practical interventions in terms of how we can capacitate local media institutions to know about the relations between Africa and China. But also, it's also very important to train our journalists to understand that China has got its own interests just like any other country, and those interests must not be seen as very different and very bad when it comes to Africa. So it's something that I'm very passionate about. I think that we can actually bring to be journalists. We can also help journalists to be part of the conversation. We can also help even young and upcoming journalists that are being trained right now in journalism schools in South Africa to understand this kind of relationship. So even coming up with a course that centers around reporting diplomatic relations between countries, and I think that would also help us to begin to see how journalists can actually be part of the solution rather than be part of the problem. So it's something that I think we can actually be able to do. But over and above that, the issue of xenophobia can also be looked at from a digital media perspective, where we are looking at how do ordinary users of digital media in various parts of Africa, in South Africa in particular, are using social media probably to propagate or even to challenge this xenophobia that has been mainstreamed through mainstream media narrative. So I think it's something that I also think we can actually be able to do. So with that, I stop here. Thank you so much for this opportunity.